Hello everyone, this is Bytesauce and welcome to episode 26 of Feed the Beast Unleashed. And between episodes, I changed a few things around here. I processed all my bees and whatnot. I've got a little bit of DNA left, but this time I've changed my pipes to waterproof pipes because it worked out that it was leaking on the floor, so I changed it to this. Added some pipe plugs to stop them connecting, and yeah, so that's basically that one. I also changed this power system. Rather than having just the just them connected to the cells, I've added these gates onto each of the wooden pipes. And what the pipes do is, if there's power requested in the system, it will emit a redstone signal. And then I have my cells set up to only output energy if the signal is high. So once these are emitting a redstone signal, then it will start to output. Now, as I'm not actually using the machines and I haven't started my boiler yet, I've got this set to 0, so basically it won't output at all. But once I've started the boiler up, I will turn these all on to emit energy, and then I can use them. The other little change I made between episodes was I've added basically 3 centrifuges, and then each centrifuge, if I just grab my wrench quickly, will only request basically a certain amount of the comb. So I've got 3 going to this because there isn't very many stringy combs produced. 2 of these, and then I've finally got 1 into this one. So this produces the most combs, so that's why this only has 1. And that way, the backlog that I had, which was getting quite big, has sorted itself out. So now it processes them all fine. And then this is keeping up pretty well. So this is currently clearing out the backlog. So there's only a few propolis left in the system. It's managed to fill the tank up. And it's producing fuel pretty rapidly, actually. So, as you can see, I've almost got about a third of a tank. It's pretty cool. Now, for this episode, and possibly next episode, I want to start to produce UU matter. And to produce UU matter, you need a mass fabricator, which is this. Now, they're reasonably easy to build. There's a few advanced components, but nothing that I can't do. But what the problem I have with it is I need to produce a lot of EU. So to produce 1 UU matter, you need 1 million EU. That's without scrap. If you add scrap, it's quite a bit less, but it's still a lot of EU to produce. Now, I want to produce a lot of a lot of UU matter. So for that, I'm actually going to build myself a nuclear reactor. Now, to house the nuclear reactor, I want to make like a nice room and whatnot, and make it a nice, safe nuclear bunker. So I'm going to build that off camera, and I'll come back and show you what I've built. Now, to help me clear out an area, what I've actually done and kind of built is one of these things, which is a filler. And I've basically marked out an area, a 3D area with landmarks. And then all I need to do is add either glass or bricks in different shapes to get myself like different ways of doing things, basically. So if I use 9 glass, I get this thing, which is clear. And now what that'll do is basically break every single block that's within the boundaries of this yellow tape stuff. And all you need to do is supply it with power. Now, it does require a lot of power to make it go fast. So if I just hook up to this, you'll see it removing all the stuff really, really fast. Pretty cool. Now, one of the other settings for this, if I take all the glass out, I've got some stone bricks, and if I put it all the way around the outside, I get this thing, which is basically, it's going to make me a box. So all I need to do then is fill it up with the resources I want it to make a box out of, reactivate the power, and you should start to see it very quickly fill in the walls of all the area that I've just set up. Oh, I've run out of resources. So anyway, I'm going to complete the build with this, and I'll be back. So this is it. I've built a nice little room. There's now a hole in my floor. I come down here, and I've got big room with my nuclear reactor in it. And what I want is on this wall to have some monitors for my energy and all that stuff, and the temperatures of the reactor itself, and I can have some production of the UU matter over here. But then if I go back to the top, I want to use on top of this these things which are called drawbridges, and if I just place all 3 down, what they do is if I click this and fill it with this one, put one in here and then 3 in this one, they basically cover up the hole. So I want to lay out a system, so I'm going to dig around a bit and sort it out, and then I'll show you what I've come up with when I come back. So this is the system I've come up with. These redstone torches are sending a signal through this block and then into the drawbridges under here. So if I remove this block, as you'll see on the tooltip, this is a drawbridge. And they're activating it, so when I remove it, this one, as you can see, is retracted. So if I put that back again, and then I do the same on this side, which I've already set up the redstone, that will close up. So the only difference between these two sides currently is this one has 2 repeaters and this one only has 1. And then what I want to do is I want to add a programmable RedNet controller, and I also want to do a wireless receiver and a wireless transmitter. And then I want to set the wireless receiver to, I've currently got this remote which is set up to frequency 100, so I can bind that to that. And if I just give this a name, so Doom, that name, there you go. So now 100 is Doom, and I want to set this one to 200. I'll show you what this one does later. And the other thing I've got is this programmable RedNet controller. And what I wanted to do is, as this one has now turned orange, because if you basically click it like this, it goes orange, and it go all the way around. I think if you shift it goes backwards actually, but there you go, back to white. When I pulse this, I want it to hold the signal so it turns these off for a period of time, and then I want it to release the signal so it then goes back to its state which it's in now. And to do that, I need to scroll down here and find the one I need, which is a pulse lengthener. There we go. So you can see pulse lengthener up here, and this is the I, so that's input. Then you've got L, which is length, and O, which is output. And then you set this to coming in the left side of the controller. So if I set this to L, so this is input output left, and when it receives a signal on the orange, so that's orange, it will hold a signal for, let's set it for 30 for now. It probably needs to be lengthened, but we'll do for 30 for now. I want it to output on the left side as well to the white. So when I then pulse this, rather than it just pulsing for when I'm holding it down, it should, yep, I definitely need it longer than that. I also need to fill that gap in, but never mind. It should open it up, so that's basically that bit sorted. Okay, so I've set the RedNet controller to a pulse length of 90 ticks, which is 4.5 seconds, assuming that it's at 20 ticks a second, and it seems to open up quite nicely, and then we'll shoot afterwards. So there we go. The reason I've added 2 is because I kind of wanted it in like a 2-phase. Now the next thing I want to do is build another one into this bit here. So this closes after I've finished. So I'm going to dig around and lay them out, and then I'll come back. Okay, so this is what I've done. I've got 2 drawbridges on this side and 1 over that side, so it will close in like a weird pattern. And then all I need to do is add the bricks to this one as well. And the same to this. And the same to this one. There you go. So now they're all disguised, and then all I need to do is pulse a redstone signal. So if I keep a redstone signal into this block, it should transmit into the drawbridge. So I've got my RedNet cable again, and I've already placed this one down this side. Bring it around here, like so. And then finally I want to put 1 cable there, and I want to place down a block with a redstone torch on it. And then the same as last time, but this time I'm just going to use the receiver and set it to 200, which is the same frequency as before. So let's do lower door, set name for that one, and that way when I pulse it, it will pulse upstairs as well, and it should hold this signal down for 4.5 seconds or whatever I set it to, and then close. Okay, so final test to see if it all works. I'm gonna press the button, it should open up, jump down, whee, land on the floor, look up, and it covers over. You don't even know where I've come from. How cool is that? The other thing is inside here, if I just wait, close up, this won't spawn mobs because it's force brick, but if you use something else, you might want to light this tunnel up. So yeah, that's just a quick tip. Right, okay then, gonna grab some other stuff and we'll continue with something else. Okay, so I'm in one of the ages that I was going to use for my Mystcraft age, and in here there are these things which are crystals, well, Mystcraft crystals basically, and I'm going to collect a few and then I can show you what I'm going to use them for. So I'm just going to grab around, I don't know, 20 or so, and then I'll come back and show you what they're for. So I'm in my reactor bunker and I've poked a hole through the wall and I've set out these crystals. Now these crystals, you can basically create a Mystcraft portal from anything that, basically any shape you want. So if you've got enough crystals to do it, you can create a portal out of it. And the other thing I want is if I just get a crafting table, I can get one of these things, which is a book receptacle. Place it on the side, and then all you need to do is insert a book into this, and it will create a portal. So I'm going to grab the book I need, and then I'll come back. I'm at my ink mixer, and what I want to create is a link panel. As you can see, I've already created one, and it's a interlinking panel. And what that does is basically lets you link between the same age that you're in, because normally when you make Mystcraft books like these, you can only use them to go to a different age, unless you make it interlinking. Now the way I made it interlinking is I added gold dust to this thing, so all you do is you click and drag the dust into it and it will start to change colour. Now I did it off camera because there is actually a chance that it won't do it. So even if you add the right ingredients, there's a chance it won't even happen. But I created one, but you can add things like string and all other strange objects. Can't list them all because the list is massive, but that's what you do. And then you take out the link panel and you have a chance of getting the interlinking or whichever you're going for. And then the same with any other linking book. You create the book and then point in the direction you want. So I want to face this way, click it, and you're done. So I'm going to go back down into my base. I'll push this open again. Pretty cool. Whee! And then put this into here, and we should have a link book. Now obviously I'll be walking the other way, but if I walk through the portal, I end up back at my house. How cool is that? So I'm back in my reactor room, and I've built this little room off in here, and I've got myself 40 igneous extruders and a recycler. So the first thing I'm going to do is, if I get my hammer, I'm actually going to dig this wall back out, and then I'm going to place all of my igneous extruders. Let's see, 4 there, and then 4 there, and then all the same all the way along. And then once I've finished this, I don't need that one, but basically once I finish that, I need to then have this recycler. And I've got to get what these igneous extruders do, I should explain first, is if you add some water and some lava, the first option basically will start to create cobblestone, and it will do it for free because it acts like a cobble generator. So it doesn't use up any of the lava, doesn't use up any of the water, and will just continuously make cobblestone. And then all you can do then is pull it out of the igneous extruder and then use it as in the recycler to create scrap. They don't even need power to do it, so that's pretty cool. So I'm going to finish all this off and then I'll explain how I'm going to get it into the recycler. Okay, so there we go. 40 igneous extruders on one wall and one recycler. Now to get it into the recycler, I need to pull it out of every single one of these and stick it all into here. Now if I use Buildcraft pipes, which would work because these auto output if you set the options right, then I could create a load of iron pipes and force it in. But the problem with that is if I do end up creating more cobble than I need, it's going to start to overflow and there's going to be a big mess and massive lag basically very quickly. So I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to use is one of these things, a router. And to create a router you need to create dark iron. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to grab the stuff for it and then I will come back. Okay, I'm out here just close to my house and I'm going to place down a diamond block and I'm going to blow it up. So throw it there, get my torch back, And we've got ourselves some diamond shards. There we go, 18 diamond shards. And what we're going to do with these diamond shards is create one of these things, which is a wrath igniter. So I'm going to grab a nether brick and I'll craft that, and then I'll show you what the wrath igniter can do. So I'm back out here, even further away from my house this time, and I've got myself some iron blocks. And if I place down these iron blocks, now you want to be really careful with the wrath igniter, because if you were to say ignite grass blocks, it will spread to pretty much every glass block within like 60 floor blocks or so. You know, it's a big area. So you want to make sure you're striking the iron. And as you'll see, you get these weird flames. And then if we wait long enough... Uh-oh, is the grass on fire? Nobody knows. Then these should start to turn into this stuff, which is dark iron. Now, with dark iron, you get... It costs you 9 iron to create an iron block, and then you only actually get back, if I mine one, 4 dark iron from each one. So it's basically 9-to-4 ratio. It's a bit rubbish, but hey, we got them. So this is what I'm going to use to craft up the router and all the components that I need. So I'm going to craft up a router, an auto ejector, bandwidth upgrade, and a speed boost. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you it. Back down here, and what I've got is my router. So if I place that on top of the recycler, and now it's touching both sides of the ignition extruders, and I want to place in a auto ejector, so I just shift right click it in, a bandwidth upgrade, shift right click that in, and a speed upgrade. If it'll go in, there we go. So as you'll see, speed boost, no delay when visiting the machines, and bandwidth upgrade will move a stack at a time rather than just individual items. And then the ejector module will give you the option to eject. So what I want to do is I want to extract it. Now what this has done is extract it from this machine, so it will seek for any inventory attached to this. So this is one, all of these one, all the way up to that corner, and the same for this side. And so it took all the cobblestone out of this, and now this has started to produce more cobblestone. And then I want it to be set to eject down, and that will set it straight into the recycler. And when we've got power for it, it will start to create scrap. So that's basically that. Now the reason I have actually chose to use 40 of these things is because if you fully upgrade this, that's a very dark looking chicken. If you fully upgrade this, it should be able to keep up with exactly 40 igneous extruders. So there's that done. But I need to do a few other things, so I'll be back in a bit. So this system is going to have to wait until next episode to be completed, because it is a major build. I still have to create all the components for the reactor and automate the way it works. I also need to create the scrap boxes and even connect it up to the mass fab and whatnot. So definitely going to have to wait till next episode. But between episodes, I'm going to start mining some more resources, because I need a lot of copper for the reactor components. But that's it for episode 26 of Feed the Beast Unleashed. New episodes every Monday and Thursday. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll see you later.